Economic hitmen worked in many different ways, but probably the most typical way was that we would identify a country, like a third world country, that had resources that our corporations want, such as oil. And then we would arrange a huge loan to that country from an organization like the World Bank, but the whole country would be stuck holding a huge debt, a debt so large that it couldn't possibly repay it. So at some point, we economic hitmen would go back to that country and say, look, you can't repay your loan, so do us a favor. Vote with us on the next critical United Nations vote, or send troops in support of ours to someplace in the world like Iraq, or most importantly, sell your oil to us real cheap. Sell your
global fight against the banking cartel. Explain the crimes and how Papandreou was taken over there and how Greece was engineered for implosion.
We arrived at the hotel yesterday, and I went into the wrong hotel next door to me, and I bumped into Steve Forbes. Steve Forbes, of course, the son of Malcolm Forbes at Forbes magazine. Steve Forbes is here at the International Chamber of Commerce. The topic of discussion for their forum is selling the assets of Greece and sell those assets to foreign banks and the people who are creating the crisis. The crisis is constructed by the banks to bleed this country into a point where they have to start selling their assets.
The vultures are there for the fire sale, so he was perching wanting goodies.
That's right, Steve. Now, I know Forbes' family going back 25 years. Malcolm Forbes had his boat parked in New York Harbor back in the 80s when I was a stockbroker. And so I chatted with Steve Forbes for a few minutes. And I said, Steve, what's the deal here? And he said, Max, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. We're going to get the airport, the lottery. We're going to get everything for pennies on the dollar. This is a fantastic opportunity for our private accountants and all the people that have me.
It's controlled by what I call repeaters. They're people in the situations of power and influence who just repeat what someone else tells them. And the great repeaters are what pass for journalists. This is that area outside Parliament where they stand there doing their pieces to camera, telling people what's going on. The fact is, they don't know what's happening. They know nothing. So, this is what they should be saying if they were telling the truth. Now over to Westminster for the latest news from David Icke. Thank you, Hugh. Well, I've got to be honest, mate. I haven't got a clue what's going on. I tell you what my job is, right? I wear a dark suit, not normally, but, I'm playing here. And I'm come over from there, and I tell you what they've told me is going on. And I deliver it as if I know what's going on, and it's really true. I've got a clue if it's true. But they tell me, and they wouldn't lie, would they? I mean, would Tony Blair lie about what's really happening? Would George Bush, please? I'm a journalist, trust me. And so, what we call news, what you get paid a lot of money for reading Autocue about, is merely propaganda that they have told me and I tell you.